Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the 15th episode of CC Sports Talk Podcast. Really excited for this one because I haven't filmed a podcast in a while, so a lot has gone on since I talked to you guys last. Sorry if I keep looking up. I got the Wisconsin-Iowa game on. I'm a big college basketball fan, so I'm just trying to keep up with it. But yeah, we're going to talk about a lot of college basketball today. A lot of great games this weekend. A lot of good games during the week as well. I thought I'd go through some contenders and pretenders of college basketball who I think can win it all, as in contenders, and who I think are pretenders that are a little overrated right now and not as good as maybe we think they are. Also to talk about the Team USA win today. That was a great win, great game. I can't believe they won, but I'll get into that. And just some extra stuff that has happened over the last week since we talked, and that I haven't talked about yet that's been on my mind. But yeah, we'll start with the Team USA win the gold medal. That was unbelievable. I thought they honestly had no chance to win. I think Canada is so much better than us, and I know a lot of people don't agree with me on that, but I can't believe they pulled that game out. I mean, Canada had 43 shots on net, I believe, or 43 shots on net, and Hollebuck only landed one. He had 42 saves, which is unbelievable. It's crazy. Hollebuck, is not a playoff performer, not a big game performer. He's a choker. He's kind of a loser, and he played great today. I got to give him credit. And same as Jack Hughes. I thought Jack Hughes was honestly a loser player. I thought he was soft. I thought he honestly didn't play a good game today until he got that goal in overtime, of course. And of course, I'm texting my buddies. I'm texting my dad, Jack Hughes this, Jack Hughes that, because he's just so noticeable that he's not the best player when it comes to these Olympics. But, I mean, he played great. Even in the Olympics, he played great. He's just been a great player. And he was pretty consistent for them this Olympics too. But, yeah, and I think Quinn Hughes' brother was a great player. Oh my God, I love that guy. So he had 1 goal, 7 assists the whole Olympics, and I mean he's just such a good player. That guy's great. I thought Canada had open chance after open chance after open chance. I thought the net was wide open a lot for them, and they just missed. Or Hollebuck made a great save. It was unbelievable how many chances I thought they had, and Canada just kept whiffing, and the Americans couldn't generate any offense at all. I thought. I mean, we could not get. When we got in their zone, we couldn't stay in the zone. They just kept clearing us, and I thought our passing was horrible and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, they won the game. That's all that matters. They won the game, and I'm so proud of them. I thought they really had no chance. When it went into overtime, honestly, I thought they're gonna lose right away, or when there was 2 minutes left, I thought for sure, because we had a power play with maybe 4 minutes left. And then Jack Hughes gets the high stick, and of course it's Jack Hughes. Jack Hughes gets the high stick, and I'm saying, oh well, here it is, and then the Americans just played good in that 1 minute power play because Bennett was in the box for his high sticking before Jack Hughes for Canada, but yeah, I mean Canada's roster is just so good. But the Americans just stuck in there. They were just tougher. They were so resilient. I mean, when we're looking back at the Four Nations now, why wasn't Quinn Hughes on the roster and Tage Thompson on the roster and stuff like that? It just does. Even though I think Tage Thompson's a great player, he's just kind of soft for such a big player. But Matt Boley too. I mean, Matt Boley was playing great. I like that guy a lot. I mean, he didn't when they played the Four Nations too last year. I feel like he didn't really fit in there as well that much either. But he played great. I mean, I thought the Americans really showed up to play. Even though it didn't look like it in the offensive end, but defensively they played great. Their puck pressure was great. I mean, and like I said, Hollebuck just stood on his head. And thank God we didn't have to see Swayman in net. Now I'm talking about Swayman. I have to talk about this. Last weekend, Swayman was the goalie for Team USA, and allegedly, because I think this is bullcrap. Swayman was the goalie and couldn't see the puck in the net because of people not sitting in the stands, and the stands were black and the boards and stuff like that. And it was dark in there and stuff like that. What the hell is that? Come on. That's ridiculous. That makes no sense. Um, I, I can't stand Jerry Smain. He had uh, 2 goals and 4 shots, and then he let up another easy goal. And these goals were like from the red line. I mean, they were so far away. They were so far away. But yeah, I'm just happy I didn't have to see them. And then after the game, the Team USA skating around with Johnny Gaudreau's jersey. I mean, that I'm not gonna lie, that made me and my wife cry. I mean, that was very sad, very emotional. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't imagine what that family's going through. They kept showing their family after the game. They were all crying. They were all excited. They brought the kids onto the ice to take a picture with them. I thought that was really nice. Um, but yeah, I mean, they played great. I mean, wow. I mean, I was rocking my son to sleep on the chair over there, and I turned the TV so I can see it, and I was so excited. That's one of my prouder moments in American sports for sure, because I had never seen them win a gold medal, and they haven't won a gold medal since the 1980s. Like my father and my family and stuff like that. Some of those people saw that, but I never saw that. And yeah, I'm not saying I didn't. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, I thought the Americans had no chance. I wouldn't say no chance. I would say like slim to none. Maybe a miracle happened, and it happened. I mean, I thought I can't believe they won. That was unbelievable, and I'd probably been way dramatic about it, and overlooking the Americans a little bit. But I just thought they played so. I thought the Canadians were just too good for us, and they weren't. We won, and you saw McKinnon after the game saying, which I think is a loser move. Like, ask everybody who the better team is. I think they would know who it is, and he is right. But come on, the Americans just won. You guys lost. It's kind of a loser dickhead move. I don't know. I didn't like that, and I like Nathan McKinnon a lot. He's one of my favorite players in the league, for sure. But that's like a hockey thing to talk a lot of smack and stuff like that, and I get it. I do get it, but it's at the same time, it's like you don't need to say that. You don't need to do that. But yeah, I mean, sorry, I have such a hard time saying their names. Oh my god, the Chuck brothers, the Chuck brothers. They're like the heart and soul of this team, and and that Hughes brothers are good. Even though I don't like Jack Hughes, I don't think he's as good as everybody thinks he is. I think he's overrated and soft. But he played good when we needed him to play good, and I got to give him credit for that, and I can't bash him for that. But yeah, I'm not the biggest puck knower, hockey knower. I just watch as a casual. I'm not invested into it heavily and stuff like that. I love hockey. Being from Boston, it's a big sport there, big Northeast sport. But yeah, I mean that was great. I mean, the Bruins aren't winning anytime soon, and nor even if they could, they wouldn't win because we're the Boston Bruins, biggest chokers in hockey. but yeah, I mean that was awesome. That was a proud moment. And if you can't say if you're out there saying it doesn't matter and stuff like that, it matters. All the other sports I wouldn't say matter. The Olympics at the end of the day is kind of like I wouldn't say woman's thing to focus on, but like a lot of people don't focus on it. Like I don't know, some of it's cool. Like the curling drama was cool and stuff like that with Sweden and Canada. I'm sure everybody knows what I'm talking about. If you don't, in curling you can't double touch the little thing that you push. I don't even know what it's called. Little thing that you push, and there's a line you can't double tap it, and the guy pushes it, and then he taps it like this, and it's clear on video and stuff like that. And the Swedish people caught him, and the Swedish people started calling him out, and the Canadian people were like, "Yeah, you can fuck off. We didn't double touch that. We didn't do that. Blah 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 blah." And they visibly did it, and then they got caught again by Switzerland. But the problem was that they caught him on illegal cameras, so the cameras that they caught him on, they can't turn him in or anything like that because they illegally not legally, like they didn't officially put them there. Like it's not official film and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a great game, great day. I mean, it was like I was on the edge of my seat, like so nervous, but so excited at the same time. If we did all that to go to overtime with Canada and lose, that would have been so heartbreaking. But I'm so happy they won, and I feel like we deserved it. It was our time. I think we deserved to get one there, and it's been a long time. Canada always gets them, but that was great. I can't wait for the next Four Nations because it's going to be physical in that because they can't fight in the Olympics or anything like that. They get in trouble. But yeah, I can't wait for the Four Nations next year. But yeah, that leads us into the college basketball pretenders and contenders, and I'll start with the pretenders. And I'm gonna do some honorable mentions at the end that are some teams that aren't ranked. The criteria for this was teams ranked in the top 25 that I think are pretenders and contenders. There's some teams that I think aren't in the top 25 that I think are contenders, actually, to be honest with you. Or not contenders, but can make some noise. And that's pretenders are the teams that I think that, you know, can go far in the tournament, but they're big name teams. There's asterisk against some of these teams because of injuries and stuff like that, and I'll break it down as I go. But let's start with the honorable mentions. Some honorable mention teams that I think that will be pretty good in March and that I think can make noise that aren't ranked right now that probably will be ranked next week if not soon. That is Miami. I think Miami's really good. That first year coach Jay Lucas, he coached at Duke, coached at Kentucky. He coached somewhere else. I can't remember. I think maybe North Carolina or something like that. But yeah, I mean, he's a great coach. He's got his team bought in there, and when they're making their team in the portal at the beginning of the year too, I was like, oh my god, like they're making a pretty good team. And I don't think anybody was talking about that. I thought they had a good team with True Rothschild and Trey Donaldson, their center Uda, and not even the best player Malik Renew, and they had a 5-star freshman come in, Henderson, and their bench player Dante Allen is a good player. Yeah, I think that the way they built the roster was great. They got two big guys, a good point guard. Their wings are really good and can generate good offense and play both ends of the floor. Yeah, I think they're having a great season. But yeah, I think they can make some noise in the tournament. I like their players. They play with a little extra grit. Their defense is very well. I think they can make some noise, and I think the ACC is a lot better this year. So I think a lot of people are kind of just looking down on them because they're in this ACC, and a lot of these teams I have honorable mentions are ACC teams because I think the ACC is in a really really good position. They're definitely bigger than the Big East. They're definitely bigger. They're not as good as the Big Ten and the Big 12, but they might be better than the SEC. I mean, SEC is not as good as we thought this year, and maybe an overreaction, and I'm open to people saying maybe that's not true, but in my opinion, I think the SEC is not as good as the ACC this year, but yeah, I mean I think North Carolina State, also NC State, also another honorable mention that can do good in the postseason, but they do have one thing that they lack that I cannot get my mind off is a big. I think college basketball you need to have a big, you need to have a good big. You need to have somebody that's impactful on the defensive end and that can go down there and get rebounds, get lobs and stuff like that, set you good screen and rolls and stuff like that. And they just don't have that. I mean, I like their guard play with Copeland, and I love Darian Williams is one of my favorite players in the league. I'm a big Texas Tech fan, and it really broke my heart when he transferred from Texas Tech last year. Because if he was still in Texas Tech this year, I think they'd be a great team. And I'll talk about Texas Tech a little bit later, but I like and. McNeil has been playing good. They're a freshman. I forget his name. I always forget his name. I don't know why. That's playing good. He's a great shooter. They got Trey Hallman, who I really like. He's a dog. He's tough as nails in the defensive end. A great player. I really like him. I was shocked when he transferred to Michigan State, but that's just the way the college basketball is now. Everybody's transferring and stuff like that. But yeah, I think NC State's a good team that keep your eye on in the tournament. Villanova. I think Villanova quietly has been a really good team. I mean, I don't know how they're not ranked. I mean, they have had some good wins. They're a great team, I think. With I like their point guard a lot, Bryce Lindsey. Also a huge Creighton fan, and Creighton was gonna either take Bryce Lindsey or Nick Graves, and they took the wrong one, of course. But I really wanted Bryce Lindsey when he was in the portal. I think he's been a great addition for their team. Acadian Lewis has been a great freshman for them. He's a great point guard. Perkins has been good, even though I don't think he's much. I thought the last couple of years he was little to nothing, and all of a sudden this year he's having a good year. They're too big. Hodge, he's all right. He's a good shooter. Hodge, but Duke Brandon's really good. He's kind of soft though, but he's really good. And they got some bigs coming off the bench for them that can play for them. And like I said, you need bigs. I think bigs is the most important thing in college basketball. Everybody says point guard, but I disagree. I think it's a big. But yeah, I think Villanova will make a lot of noise in the tournament. Another honorable mention I think will be SMU. They have, kid you not, this is his name. They have Boopy Miller. Boopy is in B, not Poopy. Boopy Miller. He's a great player. He's awesome. They have Edwards, who's really good. They have Pierre, who's really good. I think they're just a great team. I think they're a little slept on because they play in the SEC, but they beat Louisville. They beat some good teams this year. I think they're a great team. I think they'll make noise in the tournament. Excuse me. I think they'll make noise in the tournament. And they got a viable big, and you just need to have good big play. I think, and they have a good big. And the last team I think that's honorable mention that they're okay. I'm losing a little bit of faith in them is Mizzou. Their point guard T.O. Barrett is really, really good. Their center Phillips is really, really good. They got Pierre, who's really, really good. I just like their team a lot, and I like their coach a lot, Gates. I think he's a great coach. They got Mitchell, too. Mark Mitchell is a great player, one of the best players in the SEC, who's kind of underrated, I think, a lot. He's a really good player. Leaving Duke for him was the best thing he's ever done, believe it or not, and he's just been a great player at Mizzou since he's been there, since he's transferred from Duke. And he's had a great he's had the last 2 years have been great for him. I think that Mizzou will make a lot of noise in the tournament too. I mean, last year they got upset by Drake, but I think Drake, no matter who Drake was going to play, they were going to upset whoever. But yeah. Oh my God, he just missed a dunk. Sorry, I had to see that. Noel Winters on Wisconsin just ran down the floor with a wide open dunk and missed it. That's embarrassing. But yeah. Yeah. So we're getting to the pretenders now. Like I said again, it's these teams are ranked in the top 25. I'm gonna go through the list now. Sorry, I gotta pull back up my phone. I can't read my notes because I was rushing. But some teams I think are pretenders are Bama. I just don't think Bama's that good, to be honest with you. I know they're ranked in the top 25. I just don't think that they play that analytics. They play that analytics based what's it called, NBA formula where it's like 3 in defense, even though they play no defense and they let up like 90 points every game. It's like that's not sustainable. That's not gonna win. I think Nate Oates is an overrated coach too, because this whole analytics thing does not work in the NBA. Like, look at the Celtics last year. And I don't think it worked in college either. Look what happened last year to them. They got destroyed by Duke. Yeah, I know Duke was a great team last year, but they have no chance by the way that they play. Just shooting threes. And when they have to follow the rules and not have ineligible players play, they're just not that good. A lot of their good wins were with Bediako, of course, and I talked about it throughout this podcast. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I just don't think that Bama is a contender this year. Their guards are really good. Don't get me wrong. Holloway is really good. I do like their big Sherrell. He's really good. Houston's really good guard. Their guards are just really good. Allen's good. Who's the other guy? What's his name? Wrightsell is really good. And then Philon is really good too. He's an NBA player. Definitely going to be a first-round pick. They just don't play defense, and I just don't think that's sustainable in March Madness. You got to be able to have a good defense. I think another team that is a pretender is Miami, Ohio. They're in the MAC or whatever. What are they in, the MAC or the Horizon? I don't know, some terrible league, and they're undefeated right now. And I'm not in the camp of if they lose a game, they're out of the tournament. Come on, let's not do that. They deserve to be in the tournament if they have 1 or 2 losses. Don't get me wrong, they do, but at the same time, they play in a crappy league. They have the easiest schedule ever, and I just don't see it. They got a really good coach, though, who will be hired by the top Power 5 school for sure, and he'll be a good coach, but I just don't see it with them. I just don't, and there's not much to explain about it. They're a Miami team in a crappy conference, and I'll say that about St. Louis as well. St. Louis, I just don't think is I like Avila. I like their guards. Their guards play, and I like their coach a lot. The coach on their team will probably be the number 1 candidate to be hired in this next coaching cycle. But But yeah, I just don't see with them. They got bigs. I like that, but other than that, I just don't think that they're it. Another team that I think is a pretender that I'm kind of on the fence on is Vanderbilt. I like their coach a lot. Their coach is a really really good coach. I like Tyler Nickel. I like Tyler Tanner. Sorry, and uh, and I like their bigs a lot. Washington's good. Duke Miles is good. He's back healthy. He's really really good. Um, they shoot the ball very well. I like their bigs. They're good on defense, but I just feel like down the stretch they've lost some games here that have been um, little, you know, little worrisome. But yeah, another team I think is pretender is Virginia. I like DeRitter a lot, but other than that, I don't really think that. Um, I just don't see it with them. I mean, I like their coach a lot. They shoot the ball very well, as like also like all these other teams, but I just don't think they have the talent to do anything in the tournament. I mean, I think the ceiling of these teams, like the ceiling of Bama is the Sweet 16. The ceiling of Miami is the round of 32. The ceiling of Vandy is the Sweet 16. The ceiling of St. Louis is the round of 32. The ceiling of Virginia is probably the Sweet 16, maybe round of 32, probably the round of 32. But but yeah, I just don't. So I don't see them going far in the tournament. If anything, I don't see them being a second weekend team. Same as Michigan State. Michigan State, I like Michigan State a lot. I like Fears. I like. Oh, sorry, they're fighting in the game. Wisconsin, Iowa's fighting. Sorry. Um, Michigan State, they got the two bigs, Carson Cooper and what's the other guy's name? Where's the two armbands on like his shoulders? It's so weird. What's the guy? Jackson Kohler, are really good. I like Cohen Carr on the defensive end. He's not a good offensive player at all though. They just don't have any shooting. They have no shooting at all, and their defense is good, but they just can't generate any offense. And Tang is too inconsistent too. So I just don't think they're very good. Sorry, they're reviewing the fight, and the coach on Iowa's like losing his mind. But yeah, I just don't think that they can go far in the tournament. Tom Izzo though can shock some people. I think their ceiling is the second weekend, like a Sweet 16. I don't think they can. I don't think they're an Elite Eight team, but they'll win some games in the tournament. Another team that I think is a pretender, which breaks my heart. These next two teams break my heart. That I think they're pretenders, but they just are. Texas Tech, pretender. If they had JT Toppin, I think they'd be a Final Four team, to be honest with you. But since JT Toppin tore his ACL, I think that, it's kind of done. I think they're still a good team with Christian Anderson. I think LaJuan Watts is good. He's no Darian Williams, though. They just can't rebound the ball. Their bigs are other than Toppin, are not good. But yeah, I just don't see it with them. It's so heartbreaking to see that JT Toppin got hurt because I really like him a lot. It'll be interesting to see what happens after this year. If he goes to the draft, which I don't think he will, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens with them. I like their coach a lot. I think their coaches are really good. What's his name? Grant McCasm. He's a really good coach. I like their shooters Atwell, and I think Brian's good. I think Mosley's good. But yeah, I just don't. They'll win some games in the tournament. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think they win it all. And I think their ceiling is probably the round of 32 or maybe the Sweet 16, but I'm leaning towards the round of 32. This next team breaks my heart that I think they're pretenders, but it's Nebraska. I live in Nebraska. I follow their sports here. Nebraska finally has a good basketball team. I mean, they have had good basketball years, but not like this year. This year they've beaten, Illinois. They should have beat Michigan. They should have beat Illinois again. They should have beat Purdue, but they have a lot of injuries in the beginning of the year, so that's why they kind of lost these games. But I feel like they're in the tournament. They'll just be they don't have great size. I mean, their big Mast is good, but he just doesn't have the ideal size that you would want. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong, and he is a big that you want, but I feel like other than that, they don't have any other size that help them out. And I like Horberg as a coach. Their defense is good, but I feel like sometimes on the offensive end, they just get in these little droughts, And in March, that's going to hurt you. They're not going to be able to do that in March. So that's why I think it's a pretender. Another team I think is a pretender is Purdue. I think the most overrated team in college basketball, honestly. And I'm not a believer in Arizona either, which I'll talk about next. But Purdue is most overrated team in basketball. Coming into the year, everybody thought they were number one team in the country, and I was like, what are you people smoking? What are we doing? I just Oscar Clough is not as good as we thought at the center position. Trey Kaufman-Renn is really good, but he's not healthy. Hasn't played healthy all year. Fletcher Loyer is the most overrated player for the last 3 years of college basketball. This guy's talked about like he's the next Ray Allen. He went like 5 for 18 the other day at that 3-point line, and all he can do is shoot threes. So just put a hand in his face. He can't make shots. He misses. He's not that good. And Braden Smith too is the most overrated point guard in the nation. Everybody thinks he's the best point guard in the country and stuff like that. Come on, guys. He's not that good. I shouldn't say that. He's good, but he's not the best point guard in the country. Like, come on. He's not. And defensively, they're terrible. Loyer can't do anything on the defensive end. Smith can't do anything on the defensive end. Their guards, just other than those two, they don't show up. They're not that good. Come on, guys. The last team I think is a pretender that I think is a hot take that people will agree with me is Arizona. Arizona I don't see it. Jalen Brownlee is not as good as he was at the beginning of the year. DeLorso, I mean, yeah, he had 2 good games, but other than that, he doesn't do anything. Their bigs are good. Krivas, but he's soft. Toby Walker is really, really good. I like him a lot. I have nothing to say bad about him. Same as Burries. I like Burries a lot. And Ivan Kochenkov is just a liability on offensive end. He can't do anything on offensive end, but he might be one of the best defenders in America. And something about that Arizona program just gives me choking vibes. It does. Every year they go to the tournament, they're supposed to be good, and they choke. That's why I think they're pretender, really. And they had a soft schedule. Now they're playing hard games, and yeah, they beat Houston. But other than that, I just don't think that they're very good, to be honest with you. But yeah, that's my list of pretenders. And to go through it again, from the bottom is Bama, Miami of Ohio, Vandy, St. Louis, Michigan State, Virginia, Texas Tech, Nebraska, Purdue, and Arizona. Those are my pretenders. And my contenders are Wisconsin. You know, on the defensive end, we've seen how good they play. Blackwell and Boyd have been like maybe one of the best guard duos in the country. They have a good shooter, Corrington. He's really, really good. I like him a lot. He's a good player. He's a great shooter, brings him great shooting. Nolan Winters is really good. He has a lot of untapped potential, I think, still in him. He's a good player. I like him a lot. I think their coach is very, very good. It just goes under the radar. He's a good player. You know, when they get good shooting from Rapp, that's always good too. But Blackwell and Boyd are they're just dogs. They're just gritty guys. They're good players who know how to win, know how to play, and I really respect that. I like that a lot. Another contender I have, surprisingly, even without Richie Saunders, is BYU. With Richie Saunders, I think this team's really good. Without him, they still have AJ DeBonsa, and they still have Rob Wright. I mean, those guys are great, and they have good bigs, which I really like. And Keita, even though I don't like him that much, I think he's kind of a prick. but yeah, I like BYU. Arkansas, I think, is a contender as well. They have, Darius Acuff, probably the best point guard in the country. They have Malik Thomas, who's really, really good. I like Malik Thomas a lot. Their bigs, as in Ewing, Pringle, are really good. And Brazil, I think, is the key to their team. They gotta get healthy. They gotta get Knox healthy. And they'll be all right. And Billy Richmond has been a great player in the defense, and I like him a lot. I think that they'll be a good team in March because they got good point guard play and they got good bigs. And I like that a lot. I like Acuff a lot. I think he's really good. He's such a fun player to watch. He's so entertaining. He's such a good player. And they also have DJ Wagner coming off the bench, who last year he had a great year, and this year since they have Acuff, he's kind of took a step back, but it's not really his fault, and he's still a really good player. And I like him a lot. But yeah, another team I think is really good is that's a contender is Louisville. With their offense, their shooting, they're so good. They have one of the best point guards in the country as well as Brown. Their problem is bigs. I think their bigs lack a lot of size and rebounding and defense, what you need. But they can shoot the ball lights out with McNeely and Conwell, who I think is one of the best players in the league, and he's the number 2 on that team. Conwell and of course Malik Brown is really, really good. St. John's, I'm not going to talk too much about them because I don't like them at all, but I think they're a really good team. I love Patino though. And Ejiofor is a great big. Zubi Ejiofor is a good big, and they have okay point guard play. Not really. UNC, if Caleb Wilson gets healthy, okay? If Caleb Wilson is healthy, they're a contender. They got Vasar and Caleb Wilson at their 2 bigs. That's a great 1-2 punch as bigs. Seth Trimble's a great point guard. Derek Dixon has been a great point guard. I think they're really good. I like them a lot. Florida with their bigs, they have the best bigs in the country with Condon, Hanlockton, Chulinu, and Thomas Hauk, who's really, really good. I like him a lot. And their point guard play has been okay. I don't like Xavier Lee that much. I don't think he's that good, but he's been cleaning up the turnovers a lot, and I think that's all you need. And Boogie Flan, if he stops shooting three-pointers as much as he does, because he's one of the best 2-point players in the country, he'll be all right. Ian Brown has been good for them, and their shooter there with the foreign name, I forget his name, has been really, really good for them. Another contender I think is Gonzaga with Graham Ike and Braden Huff when he gets back from injury. They're really good. They have Tayson Foster, who's really good. And I think Gonzaga is just there every year. I really believe in them, and I think they're a great team. Illinois. I mean, on the defensive end, when they're fully healthy, they're really, really good with Boswell and their big Avicic brothers. I can't say that. And Merkovich has been good. I think they're on the offensive end they're great. The defense end they're great, and Stojakovic too. Stojakovic is so good. I love that guy. That guy's so good. They just need to stay healthy. That's really the problem. Another contender is Kansas if Darren Peterson is playing, which is a big if. And I want to talk about Darren Peterson for a second. This guy, I've lost all respect for him. Soft. Capital S, capital O, capital F, capital T. Soft. This guy, he gets the sniffles. He's out for the game. He scores. He plays 18 minutes. Needs to check out of the game. He gets a little weird. He gets a little scratched and he's coming out of the game. Like, come on, dude. I know he's probably saving himself to be the number 1 pick and he doesn't want to get doesn't want to be hurt. And I totally understand that. But you're taking NIL money from all the guys that can get NIL, and I just think it's a bad look. It's not good. But I do think Kansas is a contender if Darren Peterson's healthy, because I really like Bryson Taylor as a big. I think Flory Badunga is awesome. That guy's great. Trey Wright is good. And I like Melvin Council. He's good too. He's a good closer. He shoots way too much though. But yeah, and I got Iowa State in the next contender. I don't know where it comes from, but I don't know where it comes from. Their defense is so good. It feels like they're playing with 6 players on defense. Buchanan's a really good big. Jefferson's really good. I like him a lot. I mean, he is just so good. Jefferson has been a great, great player for them. Taron Lipsey has been a great point guard. He has been super good. Their freshmen, Torre and Bateman, have been really, really good. I like them a lot too. And they have the best 3-point shooter in the league. And what's his name? Milan. What's his last name? His first name's Milan. I forget his last name. It's a European name. But yeah, and then I think UConn is a contender as well. The only thing only reservations I have about UConn is that they still haven't hit their stride yet. They still haven't hit their second wind, if you will. Like they haven't hit their peak yet, and I'm hoping it's eventually going to come. I think, and that's why I have them on contenders list. And these last 3: Duke, Michigan, and Houston. That's self-explanatory. Duke, they got the best player in the country, and they got Isaiah Evans, who's really good. Their center Nagumbe is really, really good. That guy's a stud. Houston with Kingston Fleming's one of the best point guards in the country. Will be a top 5 pick. Emmanuel Sharp is really, really good. Their coach, I love their coach, Sampson. Their bigs are good if they don't stay in foul trouble, in Sinak and Tugler. Their defense is not as good as they usually are, but they're still really, really good. Their defense is just usually off the charts, but they're still really, really good. And they have a good bench, too. I like their bench. And Michigan. They got the Twin Towers down there with Mara and Johnson, and they got Lindenborg. They got the best point guards in the country, as in Elliot Cadeau, like tandem. Elliot Cadeau and L.J. Carson, and they got McKinney coming off the bench. They're just a great team. I wouldn't be surprised if they won the national championship. But I think it's so wide open in college basketball this year. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 teams that can win it all. Isn't that crazy? Like that's how good college basketball is this year, and that's how good they're playing this year. But yeah, just look at my notes here. A couple things I want to talk about from the weekend was Jerome Tang got fired from Kansas State last weekend. We all saw that. Kansas State, spent a lot of money on their team. Their roster, I thought, was good, and I thought they were playing great, and they just didn't play good. And, they're blaming it all on the coach, unfortunately. Jerome Tang was fired for cause, which is so they don't pay him his buyout because of the harsh way he was talking to the media about them. And, they're not going to win that case. Tang's going to get all his buyout money, which I think is a joke that Kansas State did that. But, yeah, it'll be a big-time job. Kansas State's a big-time job, and they got a lot of money there, so it'll be interesting to see who they hire. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Tyreek Hill and Bradley Chubb got cut. I'm not surprised that happened. I think Bradley Chubb is not as good as he used to be, but Tyreek Hill, he's not going to be as good as he used to be either after that nasty leg injury. It'll be interesting to see where he lies. He's already had a lot of buzz around him with the Chiefs. I don't think it'll happen to the Chiefs. I don't think the Chiefs want him back, but, if it happens, it happens. But, yeah. And then I think the NBA has a big problem. I'm constantly just ragging on the NBA, and I think it's deserved. But, over All-Star Weekend, all these players are asking, if you want to be the face of the league, you want to be the face of the league, are you the face of the league, you want to be the face of the league? And they just keep being asked. And players, I feel like players just don't want to be the face of the league anymore. They just don't want to. They don't. I don't know what it is. I think no one wants to rise to the occasion and stuff like that, and I don't get it. But it is what it is. I guess it is what it is. And for the next thing, fraud of the week. Fraud of the week. I said last week we're going to start doing that segment, but fraud of the week is Jason Tatum. I think Jason Tatum is a fraud. I think he is kind of being an attention whore, attention diva. And I say that because, he's typing up his documentary, saying, he's working behind the dark, working all the time. He's quietly working. He's tough. He's doing the stuff like that. But he was rolling around the floor when he tore his Achilles, and no one has ever done that ever. Everybody just tears it, and then they know they tear, and they just kind of sit there. But Tatum's rolling around the floor like a baby. But that's not why I think he's a fraud. Okay, I think he's a fraud because him saying he's behind the scenes working, doing the hard work quietly, but he's making this whole documentary about his rehab and hyping up his return, even though he said in the media he's afraid how him coming back will impact the team, the chemistry and stuff like that. But he's been playing with these guys for years now, these same guys, and Derek White and Jaylen Brown and Pritchard. I mean, he's been playing with these core guys a lot the last couple of years. He knows how they play when he gets back, and he's saying he wants to come back when he's full Jason Tatum. But, that's his way of saying, I want to come back and be the star player. I'm not coming off the bench. I want to be the number one, getting all the attention, getting my touches and stuff like that. Which I just think it's a lot of BS. And this whole documentary thing where he's like, wants all this attention about it, but he's quietly working behind the scenes, but he needs all the attention. It's just so annoying. He's just such an attention-starved baby, I think, and I just don't like it. I just hate it, and I'm ready for it to be done. I'm ready for him to come back so he can stop talking about Tatum. And maybe I'm alone on this one, but I don't know. I just think I think the Celtics organization is honestly, since the new owner has turned into a bunch of losers. Really, I feel bad for Jaylen Brown because he's put his heart and soul out there, and I don't think it's at the end of the day it's gonna work out very well. But yeah, whatever. But thanks for tuning in to the podcast. That'll do it for the podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. And we'll talk to you when we talk to you next. Everybody have a great week. I hope to see you guys here soon. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. I appreciate it. And everybody stay safe and everybody have a good week. Talk to you later. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.